Chief of Staff, said in a statement. "We're getting some pretty good results. It adds to the protection level of the tank." Israel's Merkava comes standard with the trophy, as does Russia's new T-14 Armata. Both Israel's and Russia's tanks, as well as the UK's Challenger 2, are considered by US officials to be close to or at parity with the US's mainstay, the Abrams tank. Though some officials don't consider the Armata fielded, as militaries have adopted active protection systems and other means to up armor tanks, arms makers have looked for new anti-tank weaponry to counter them. Whenever US vehicles equipped with APS join similarly outfitted vehicles in the field, they will face a new challenge from an old foe: the RPG. Russian arms manufacturers first introduced the RPG, short for Ruchnoy Protivotankovy Granatomet, meaning handheld anti-tank grenade launcher, not rocket-propelled grenade, in 1949, updating it over the decades since. The most recent variant, the RPG-30, unveiled in 2008, has a 105mm tandem high-explosive anti-tank round, and features a second, smaller caliber projectile meant to bait the active protection systems that have become common on armored vehicles in recent years. A tandem heat round carries two explosive charges. One neutralizes a vehicle's reactive armor, which uses explosions to counter incoming projectiles, and the other is designed to penetrate the armor of the vehicle itself. The novelty of the Russian rocket launcher is that two rockets are fired at the target at the same time. One is a so-called Agent Provocateur 42mm in caliber, followed a bit later by a primary 105mm tandem warhead rocket. Vladimir Pokachov, the Director General of arms manufacturer NPO Basalt, told Russian state news agency TASS of the RPG-30 in September 2015. The RPG-30 reportedly cleared testing and went into active service with the Russian military sometime between 2012 and 2013. At that point, according to a 2015 report by Russian state-owned outlet Sputnik, the Pentagon put it on its list of asymmetrical threats to the US Armed Forces. The effectiveness of the RPG-30 against active protection systems, and whether those systems need be upgraded to adapt to the RPG-30 and similar munitions, remains to be seen. But the RPG, though limited by the size of its warhead, has long been potent on the battlefield, even against modern tanks. The previous model, the RPG-29, was introduced in 1991 and is still in service with the Russian Armed Forces. It fires a 105mm tandem heat round and can also fire a thermobaric fuel air round against bunkers and buildings. Russian RPG-29s were used by Hezbollah in the mid-2000s, deployed against Israeli tanks and personnel during the 2006 Lebanon War. According to a Haaretz report from the time, Hezbollah anti-tank teams using RPG-29s managed on some occasions to get through the armor of Israel's advanced Merkava tanks. In other cases, Hezbollah fighters used the RPG-29 to fire on buildings containing Israeli troops, penetrating the walls. The majority of Israel Defense Forces ground troops casualties, both infantry and armored, were the result of special anti-tank units of Hezbollah, which used other anti-tank missiles as well, according to the Haaretz report, published in the final days of the conflict and citing intelligence sources. Those RPG-29s were reportedly supplied to Hezbollah by the Syrian military, which got them from Russia. Moscow disputed those origins, however, with some suggesting they were exported from former communist bloc countries after the fall of the Soviet Union. In August 2006, the RPG-29 was used successfully against a British Challenger 2 tank in southern Iraq. During operations in Al-Amara, an RPG-29 rocket defeated the reactive armor installed on the Challenger, penetrating the driver's cabin and blowing off half of one soldier's foot and wounding several other troops. UK military officials were accused of a cover-up in 2007, after it emerged that they hadn't reported the August 2006 incident. 2 years later, during fighting in Baghdad's Sadr city, a Shiite